see here. Need to send out some notifications. Send out a few notifications. Let everybody know that we are live, as always. Get the comments pulled up. There we go. There we go. There we go. Let's see. Let's see. Sanchez, what's up, dude? First in the chat, man. How's it going? It's good to see you. Welcome, Sanchez. Welcome, welcome. Hey, fair warning, guys. I haven't been up that long, but the time that I have been awake has been non-stop, just getting shit done. So I might seem a little worn out, a little tired. What's up, Chase? What's up, Wonder Bro? Hope you're doing okay, brother. Stay strong. Hey, I appreciate that, dude. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing good too. I appreciate it. Welcome, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I slept pretty heavy last night, and like I said, since I've been awake, which has not been very long, a few hours maybe, I've been doing like getting shit done like non-stop, so I might seem a little worn out and not all there today, but what's up, D9? Hope you're doing good, dude. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, my man. I've missed 2 streams, but I watched them. Good stream, brother. I appreciate that, Sanchez. Glad you enjoyed them, dude. Glad you enjoyed them. Hopefully, guys, hopefully we get back to, you know, just into the normal swing of things here soon once we get settled in a new place and all that happens. Hopefully we get back to the regular streams and just get back into the swing of things, and we'll get everything rearranged and back in order. So, you know, hopefully that'll happen soon, but you might see streams more like this just for the time being. Now, that doesn't mean you can't ask questions or anything like that. You can ask questions. I might be a little off, but you can still ask questions, and you can treat it like a normal stream, right? Even though we're just, you know, doing these like fundraisers or whatever, you can treat it like a normal stream. I don't mind if you guys want to ask questions and all that good stuff. What's up, Cassie? Just at work but alone, so tuning in. Nice. What's up, Kay? Hope you're doing okay. Hey, I'm doing pretty good given the circumstances, right? And you guys have helped me out a lot, so you guys have helped me out a lot. A few things that I want to address that I addressed last night that I'm going to address again in this stream. As we approach this massive change in my life and everything that is about to happen here soon, um, the streams will pretty much remain the same, and I would like to continue to do this full time. I'll just have more on my plate, you know, obviously. So you might hear me push the tip goals a little bit harder, which is something I never do. I never talk about the tip goals, but you might hear me push the tip goals a little bit harder in the future, simply because I'm going to have more on my plate and I have no choice and I have to survive. So we talked about that last night, but I just wanted to mention it again because I don't want you guys to think I'm changing up on you or anything. When you hear me mention the tip goals, it's just that I literally have to survive. So if I'm going to do this full time and keep the show on the road, that might be something you hear me push a little bit harder in the near future. And it's not because I'm trying to change up on you guys or become money hungry. It's just that I literally, if I'm going to do this full time, I have to increase the income so I can survive. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that just to kind of give you guys a heads up. Just wanted to give you guys a heads up. What's up, Kevin? Hey, I appreciate the support, Kay. I really do. I really, really do. I don't like talking about money, but it's gonna be a pretty big factor here soon when I go through these changes in my life. So you might hear me push it a little bit, where normally I don't even mention it, but I'm gonna have to start hitting, you know, my goals and shit, just so I can stay afloat. Just something that'll have to be done if I'm gonna keep this full time. Let me see. Let me give me a cigarette, guys. Like I said, I'm a little exhausted today, to be honest with you. So if I seem a little bit off, it's just I'm tired. I'm just tired. That's all it is. That's all it is, man. Put me down on the VIP. I appreciate that, Sanchez. You know, like I said, it's not something I like to talk about. It's not something I want to talk about or have to talk about. But the fact that there's going to be a lot more on my plate come soon, we're going to have to make sure we hit our tip goals because otherwise I won't be able to do my part. And then if I can't do my part, then I'll have to find something else. And I don't want to do that. I want to keep this show on the road full time. So you might hear me push the tip goals a little bit in the future. And it's not because I'm trying to be money hungry. It's just now it's crunch time, and now I can't get away with, I can't get away with not being able to do my complete part because I'm pretty much going to be on my own with a few other people, and if I can't do my part, I'm going to have to find something else to do. As much as I would hate that, so just giving you guys a heads up that you might hear me push tip goals a little bit harder in the future when I do get my own place, and it's because I'm gonna have it to survive at that point. I just hope you guys don't take that the wrong way as I'm trying to buy a new Lamborghini or something when I'm just trying to make sure I got the bills covered. That's it. That's it. That's all I'm worried about. I would never want to leave you guys, but the fact of the matter is, that's life. If I don't make enough to pay my bills when I get out on my own here, I'm going to have to find something else to do, and this is going to have to fall on the back burner. But if we can keep it going, if we can keep the show on the road, I'm more than happy, and I would love to be here every day just like normal. This is what I love to do, so I hope you guys understand that. Um, what's up, man? What's up, Brian? I'm doing pretty good, dude, given the circumstance. I'm exhausted. You might hear me fumble my words today and repeat myself. I'm not all there today. I'm just tired. I mean, that's really all it is. I'm just tired. I'm exhausted. It's been a lot that we've had to get done these past few days, and it's a lot to take on. So, this is just like an update stream. We've already went over a few things since we've been on. I don't really have many other updates to give you guys. It's still too early yet. We're only about 3 or 4 days into this. Um, we're just getting the little shit done, man. And, it's just a lot of little shit that adds up that has to be done when you're going through a move like this and taking care of someone who recently passed away. There's a lot of little things that have to be done that add up, you know what I mean? So, there's not really any major updates. We've just been doing things like, talking about, the funeral, talking about things like that. We've been getting that all done. We've been closing out his accounts. We've been, trying to take care of his, you know, any accounts he had open. We've been trying, I mean, it's just a bunch of little things that add up. And at the same time, I'm continuing to try to, look for a place. And it's just so much that needs to be done that there's not really a major update to give you guys. Just know that I'm doing just a bunch of shit each day. I mean, you know. Can I do coaching? I can do life coaching. I'm not like a certified anything, I'm not like a therapist or anything like that. I can do life coaching, to help get you on track with your whatever in whatever area of your life. So I can do life coaching, but I'm not like technical. I'm not a therapist or anything like that. So that's something I could consider doing life coaching here and there. Which I've done in the past. I stopped doing it as often because the streams were picking up. The streams were picking up good, and I didn't really need to do any sort of life coaching on the side. Everyone was pretty satisfied with the streams and, everything like that. There really wasn't a high demand for the life coaching thing. So, you know, there wasn't really a high demand for it. So I just kind of quit like doing anything like that because the demand wasn't very high. Everybody was pretty satisfied with just the streams and stuff like that. Nobody really wanted the life coaching part of things. Um, you know, So I just kind of stopped messing with it. You can reach out to me on Discord though, Brian, if you're a part of the Discord server. You can reach out to me on there. I know there's not much oomph in my voice today. I'm kind of slow today. I'm kind of, not much fire in my voice today, 'cause your boy's just exhausted, man. I'm just exhausted. Just want to say thanks, man. You helped me a lot. Life gonna give you back all that you're giving to people like me. I appreciate that, dude. And I'm glad you're doing better. Clearly, you're doing better. I'm glad. I appreciate that. I'd like to get into selling merchandise, guys. I don't know who would be interested. We got a small crowd in here today. The fact of the matter is that, you know, the fact of the matter is, when I do just update streams or streams like this, and I'm not saying you guys aren't supportive. You guys have been great. You guys have been more supportive than anything I could have ever imagined. All I'm saying is when I do update streams and stuff like that, a lot of people, that are just here for the mental health discussion that we have. A lot of people won't tune in to some of these streams, and I understand that. I understand that completely. I understand that. So there's not a whole lot of people that I can get an opinion from right now, but for the small amount of people that are in here, what would you guys think about merch? Like, I would have to pay in to trademark the Vacate Fear name and stuff in order to do that. Do you guys think it would pay off in the end if we started doing merch? I've got to think of ways to up my game around here, 'cause I've got about 4 extra scoops coming on my plate. I've got a lot more on my plate coming up, so I got to think of little ways to up my game. You know, and you guys are great. You guys are so supportive that I'm not worried about it. I think we'll hit our tip goals in the future perfectly fine. I think it'll play out just fine. I'm not worried about it, but at the same time, I would like to find other ways to continue to up my game. What do you guys think about that? What do you think about merch? Would you buy the merch? Would you like some Vacate Fear merch? What do you think? What do you think? I'm open for ideas. I'm open for suggestions. You guys have always had my back. I'm more than willing to listen to your ideas and take your suggestions. You know, we're all in this together, so if we want to keep this show on the road together, then let's do it. But, I'll need your help, so shirts, hoodies, etc. Yeah, stuff like that. Shirts, hoodies, wristbands, stuff like that with the Vacate Fear name on it. I was gonna do Wonder Bro, but the channel name now is Vacate Fear and it has been for some time, so I'd probably do Vacate Fear. I might throw in Wonder Bro too, but I don't know what goes into it, guys. I don't know if I'd have to get 2 trademarks for the 2 names, Vacate Fear and Wonder. I don't know what goes into it. I'd have to research it some more, but I'm pretty sure there's a website you can go through that you can design your merch, and the website takes care of all your sales, and you just give people the link. The website takes so much of it, and then they also handle the shipping and everything like that. And that's pretty much that. So if we could go that route or something. No, you're right. You're right, Bruno. There's a lot of people that aren't in the U.S., so it's just something to consider. If I went through a website like that handled merch for me, they would take care of all the shipping and they would do all the work, and they would just get a percentage of the sales, and you guys would just shop through my shop link. Um, it's just something to consider. I don't know if it'll actually happen. I don't know what goes into that. If you have to have a trademark or a copyright or something, I don't really know. Yeah, you're right, Cassie. Those are good points. A lot of people that are not in the U.S. would pay an outrageous amount for merch, and it would be out of my control. So I don't know if if it's something that didn't cost me much money to start, like a merch store, if it's something that cost me like not much money to start, then there's no risk, and I'll probably do it anyway. But if it's something that I'm going to have to pay a lot of money into, like with copyright and trademark or whatever they call it for the name, I don't know how any of it works. If it's worth if it's not much, then I'll do it. If it's not worth paying into, and I'm just throwing money away, then I probably won't do it. Obviously, that's not a smart move. Um, I don't know. It's just an idea that I wanted to run by you guys. Just an idea. Now, once we grow the channel, things will start to change drastically. Like once we hit 10K, which is right around the corner, and once it starts to grow and grow and grow, and we really start to buckle down and grow this channel, things will get so much easier. Things will get so much easier. I'll turn my ads on. I'll have ad revenue. I'll have my tip goals, and once I've got a bigger audience, things will just continue to get easier from here. Does that make sense? It'll all just get easier from here. But while we're still kind of in this growing stage, you know what I mean? I will be depending on you guys probably now more than ever if we want to keep this show on the road. So I've got all that information, Bruno. YouTube is very good about that. I've got a creator's dashboard. It's called something like that. I can go in and look at all the detailed statistics on stuff like that, even down to the age group of the people that watch my channel. But so I've got all that information. I'll have to check it out. Um, but I'm not worried about it. Things will get easier as we grow. It's just while we're still in this growing stage, I'll be dependent on you guys now more than ever to keep this show on the road. But I'm not concerned. I believe without a doubt that we'll always hit our tip goals coming up. Um, I'm sorry if I have to like mention it more often in the future. It's not because I like, oh yeah, I want to hit that tip goal so I can buy this and I can buy that. No, it's just in the future I'll have to hit my tip goals so that I can pay the bills. Um, but other than that, I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried. I think we'll do just fine. And another thing, once we get situated in a new place, in a new house, and I know how much of the bills that I'm going to have to pay, I'll be able to let you guys know that stuff. So we'll know what our goals are. We'll know what our goals are. We'll know all that good stuff. So it'll be easy. No, you're right, Cassie. Like I just said, you're right. Anybody out of the U.S. would pay a ridiculous amount for merch. That's just how it is, unfortunately. Which is a good point. I wasn't really thinking about that, but we'll see. Like I said, if it doesn't cost me much to put into it, then I'll do it. I'll do it because I'm not losing anything. So, and even though it'll probably just be people from the U.S. that could afford it. Start writing a book. Um, Sorry, I'm burpy. Wow. Wink, wink. That might actually be happening. I don't know. That might actually be happening, Sanchez. I've already thought about an ebook. I've already thought about writing an ebook. I've got connects. I've got people I can get up with that could help me do that and teach me everything I need to know about releasing an ebook. Um, so I've already kind of tossed that idea around in my head. I don't need a ton of extra income or anything. Like I don't need a best-selling book and a bunch of merchandise to make it. Like that's not a problem. If we hit our tip goals, I'll make it just fine. If we hit our tip goals, I can make it just fine. It's just it would help to have maybe a few extra sources of income is all I'm saying. I'm not like freaking out about it like, oh, I need to write a book, I need to start selling merchandise ASAP. Nothing like that. It's just I'm trying to think outside the box and just, branch out a little bit. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to branch out a little bit. That's all. I'm not worried. I'm not like panicking or anything. If we hit our tip goals, which I know you guys will help me do, um, to keep this, show going, then we'll be fine. I'm just trying to think of other things too that might help. It's okay, Kay. 6 minutes behind. It's fine. Whenever you do get to this part, you can always hit the live button there to catch you right back up, unless you enjoy just you know, making sure you watch everything. Yeah, exactly, Sanchez. I mean, you're right. Like, even though we could get by just fine with by hitting our goals, you know, it's important to kind of think outside the box too, because, you know, why not? Why not? Why not try to, you know, do the best you can? Hello, Wonder Bros. So sorry for your loss. Just saw this. It's okay, dude. It's okay. It happens. It's a part of life. I've got this great community here behind me. We're taking it day by day, and we're gonna be okay. So don't worry too much about me. Hey, I appreciate that, Pooty. Like I said, dude, I absolutely, my goal is to continue to do this channel full time to help all the people that I possibly can. This has always been, you know, my dream. It's what I've done for the longest time, and I absolutely love it, and I'll continue to do it. I might have to push my goals a little harder, my tip goals a little harder in the future, just so I can make sure I get my bills paid. I hope people don't take that the wrong way when they hear me talking about the goal, which is something I've never done before, but now I'm going to have to start pushing those tip goals so that I can do this full time. And I just really hope that people don't take that the wrong way. Um, you know what I mean? But I don't think they will. I think it'll be okay. I think people understand that you can't do something full time and put all your effort into one thing and expect to be able to continue to do that full time if you're not making enough to live and survive. So I think people understand that. I think people get that. I'm not worried about it. I just hate that it has to be something that I've got to push now, but it is what it is. What's up, Blake? Welcome to the stream, dude. I'm a little off today. You can probably tell. I am exhausted. I am tired. Yeah, every penny helps, guys. Every penny helps. There's a lot of expenses, you know, that go into moving, and you got to keep the bills on here while, you know, while I'm still here. While I'm still here, I got to keep the bills on here, you know. I got to have lights. I got to have internet. So not all of this can go to savings. I got to keep the bills going here until they foreclose on this house. I can't sit in the dark. So it's just it's a lot of expenses, and anyone who wants to help, I'm grateful for it. Even if it's $5, dude. I mean, every little bit. We weren't a wealthy family or anything. I didn't get left an inheritance of $100,000. I didn't get left a whole lot at all that's not already being gobbled up. So, you know, every little bit helps. Is it selfish for me to talk about anxiety? No, absolutely not. If you have questions about anxiety, feel free to ask them. Just because of whatever doesn't mean I'm not taking questions. You guys support me, you guys help me, you guys are my community. I have no problem with you asking questions right now. I was talking about that earlier, Blake. You know, even though these streams are a bit different, they're more about just hanging out and giving updates and stuff and fundraising. That doesn't mean you can't ask questions. It does not mean you can't ask questions. I have no problem with it. You guys still need help, even though I'm going through what I'm going through. You guys still need help with what you're going through. You still need, you know, you still want my advice on things, my opinion. So, hey, I did get that, Pooty. Thank you so much, dude, for the $80 tip. Can we give a shout out to Pooty in the chat, please? Thank you so much for that, dude. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Let me add that to what's on screen here. I appreciate that. I'm 90 I'm 90% sure that I put a cigarette out in that and I just took a big drink of it. Nice. Nice, dude. Nice. Nice. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Nice. Has anyone ever done that? Has anyone ever done that? I want a hat with 2 keys on it. Not a bad idea. That's nothing, man, compared to what you did for me in 3 weeks. Got my life back, been on vacation, laughing at my anxiety while shaving, so that's nothing, man. Dude, I'm so happy for you and the progress that you've made. That's absolutely amazing. My anxiety today is about Asperger's. I often wonder if I come across as someone who is socially awkward or something in a way. My worst fear is ending up like internet Chris Chan, infamous YouTuber. I think you're just thinking too much into it, dude, which is the most common thing that you do with anxiety, right? Like that's what we do. That's the go-to when we start having these what if thoughts, what if I end up like this or that, and then we fight them. We fight them tooth and nail. We get involved with them. We try to prove them wrong, which is the same which is just as bad as second fear because then you're just watering something you don't want to grow with your energy, focus, and attention, right? Trying to fight something. Just say thanks for coming. To these unhelpful suggestions, don't feed what you don't want to grow, and don't fight what you don't want to grow. So, you know, I just it's the same for everybody, regardless of the context of these irrational thoughts. If you don't want them to grow, don't water them. And how do you water them? By fighting with them, by getting involved with them, by, you know, what you resist persists, what you feed grows. So welcome it and accept it, because again, what you resist persists. So welcome it and accept it, um, but also don't feed it at the same time. So just simply respond to it with something like, and you can choose whatever you want, but something like thanks for coming, or so be it, and get back into living, and then rinse and repeat that. That's important that you don't leave that part out. You got to rinse and repeat that. It takes a dedication. It takes some dedication, but you see how that goes. You see the common cycle there. So it's always the same opinion that I've given since I've done this. You just got to stick to it, and you gotta use it. If you're gonna go that route, everybody here is free to make their own choice. But if you're gonna go that route, then you got to make sure you're actually doing it. And that doesn't mean that the anxiety will disappear right away. That doesn't mean the thoughts will disappear right away. But you're doing it because that's how you get along, right? That's how you retrain your brain. So, you're not doing it for instant results or instant gratification. The anxiety might be there, the thoughts might be there, but if you're not feeding them, eventually they'll starve out. Eventually they'll starve out. Keep that in mind. And like I said, you just got to dedicate. A lot of things come true, Sean, but worrying about them's not going to stop them from coming true. And so if you're worried about this, that, or the other, and there's nothing you can do about it, well, then the same advice applies because there's nothing you can do about it. So don't feed it. Why be miserable twice? If you're worrying about something that might happen and there's nothing you can do about it, you're making yourself go through it twice, and that just seems unnecessary. So, whether it's this, whether it's that, whether it's something that you can, if there's nothing you can do about it, there's nothing you can do about it. Why put yourself through it twice? And then there's always the factor that it probably is not going to happen anyway. So, the same advice applies. That loophole doesn't work, right? That loophole doesn't work. I know people like that loophole, yeah, but what if it does happen? Well, if there's nothing you can do about it, why are you making yourself miserable twice? So the same advice applies. The exact same advice applies whether we're talking about irrational 0% chance of happening thoughts or whether we're talking about might happen thoughts, 50% chance. Now we're just overthinking it. Either way, the same advice applies because there's nothing you can do about it. So why make yourself miserable over something that could or might not happen? So same advice applies. That loophole just doesn't work because why are you putting yourself through the misery twice even if it was to happen? You know what I mean? Makes sense, doesn't it? I think you're on the right track, Sean. I think you've got the advice down. I think you're starting to catch on. It's just a matter of truly living by it. You know what I mean? And that's the part that takes some dedication, and I understand because I definitely didn't live by it for a long time even after I knew about acceptance. So, I get it. I get it completely. It takes a lot more work than people think to catch when they're adding second fear. Like if I've got a feeling or a thought and then I start fighting it and worrying about it and buying into it and working myself up, it takes more dedication than people think to continuously, keyword continuously, catch when they're doing that and take a step back and adopt an attitude of so be it. Like, that takes actual work. That takes actual energy to do, and it takes consistent energy to do. So once you do that though and your mind and body starts to heal, you start to enter into a new mindset. You start to enter into a new mind and body that's not wired this way, and that's why people come in here and say the things that used to worry me I don't care about anymore. But I never thought I'd get to that point. It feels like magic. It's not really magic. It's just you put in the consistent and dedicated work to get there. You know what I mean? So it's not magic like some people might say. It's just that you put in the consistent and dedicated work to actually change your brain. So that's the thing. Like it's not magic. It's not like some sorcery. It takes consistent and dedicated work to catch yourself when these thoughts and feelings come and take a step back every single time, even when you catch that second fear and say, "You know what? So be it. You know what? If it happens, it happens." And some people feel like that's throwing themselves to the wolves. I get it, but what's worse, living the way that you're living or putting in that consistent, dedicated work to change your brain to where things don't trigger you like they're triggering you right now, to change the way that your brain operates? So what's worse, having to put in that consistent, dedicated work, even if you don't see the instant results right away, which you probably won't? It takes time for a brain to learn. But again, what's worse? Living the way that you're living or getting started, even though you don't see those instant results sometimes, you're doing it anyway. You're catching that second fear, you're taking the step back, and you're saying, no more of that. It is what it is. You might have to turn around and do that again 10 seconds later, but you're putting in that dedicated work, even if you don't get instant results, because it's better than what you're doing now, and you know that your end goal is eventually going to come too, right? So, like get started. You know what I mean? So, and the whole thing about, oh well, what if these things do happen? Well, what if they do? There's nothing you can do about it right now. If there is, you would have already done something. So why are you putting yourself through the misery twice? So that loophole doesn't work either. So you really have no other better options than to get started. You know what I mean? One of those days I go on YouTube and Warner Bros on. What's up, Slow Jam? Michael, dude, what's up? If this is the Michael that I think it is, what's up, dude? For real, how you doing? You have to be willing to feel the pain and experience. You do. You can't really tiptoe around it. People think that acceptance feels like sunshine and rainbows, and it doesn't. Acceptance feels like sitting in a fire, because you're no longer fighting these thoughts and feelings, that doesn't mean they disappear. They disappear in time when you retrain your brain, but in the process, it feels a lot like sitting in a fire without fighting with it. And when people come into it with the mindset of this is going to feel like sunshine and rainbows, they get very discouraged when it doesn't, and they go right back to adding second fear. So just like Pootie said, Pootie's a good example, dude. He came in here struggling, and now he's on vacation. He's literally on vacation. It shows you what happens when you put in the consistent and dedicated work. What is the work? To catch yourself anytime you've got an anxious thought or feeling. Don't try to make it go away. Change your attitude to it is what it is, even if you don't believe that, even if you don't get instant results, even if you're trembling, right? You still put in the continued dedicated effort to catch that second fear and turn it into an accepting inner voice. Dr. Claire Weeks calls it the correct inner voice. She doesn't mean argue with the thoughts. She just means see it as an accepting inner voice. It is what it is, right? And continue that attitude even if you don't believe it. So if you're willing to do that and put in that consistent dedicated work, you'll eventually see the results. You'll be like Pootie in chat. You'll be on vacation, right? You can turn it all around. So it's up to you guys at that point. Like, it's out of my hands at that point. But what you feed absolutely will grow. What you feed will absolutely grow every single time, and you guys know that because you wouldn't be here. So the thing is, though, people start using the accepting mindset, and because they don't instantly feel better and the thoughts don't instantly leave, they give up on it. That's the biggest pitfall right there. It's the most common pitfall. It happens all the time. But if you can get consistent, if you can get dedicated, and that's not to say you have to be perfect, but you get consistent and you get dedicated, you'll see the results. I mean, why not? What do you got to lose at this point? That's one way to look at it. I mean, really, why not? What do you have to lose at this point? So that is one way to look at it. All right, guys, I'm going to switch to post stream for a second. But I am still here. You'll all get it, man. You will. You will. What you resist persists. When you resist it, it persists. I like that. Hey, I appreciate that, Most Dynamic. Thank you, dude. Oh, you're definitely on the right track, Pootie. You're definitely on the right track, dude. 110%. And I'm happy to see it. Just watch out for the most common pitfall, guys. That you switch to an accepting mindset, and because you don't get instant relief from anxiety or the thoughts don't instantly go away, you fall right back into, oh no, oh no, oh no, fight, 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 make sure this doesn't happen, blah, 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 and you're just fighting with stuff that you can't control anyway. So it's like, you don't get the instant relief, you fall down the rabbit hole. It's the most common pitfall. It's the common reason why people don't stick to acceptance, because they're trying to use it like a pill, and it's just the most common pitfall for you to look out for. You know what I mean? And that's another thing, Sean. Your brain is wired to be very triggered over, little things. So, but as you start dedicating to it, you'll see how you're not as triggered by things that used to trigger you through the roof. And that's why we say context is not important. So, because then you really start to overcomplicate it. If you just choose an accepting mindset, regardless of what thoughts and feelings come, what anxious thoughts and feelings come, then you rewire the whole system as a whole, right? If you just keep the accepting mindset towards whatever the anxious thoughts and feelings. And then once that's done and you enter into a positive feedback loop and you start to make real changes to your brain, you come in here and say it feels like magic, right? Oh, I remember you, Dynamic. I remember your name, dude. OOG. OG, OG. Nobody's perfect, Kevin, but we need to get you into as much of an accepting mindset as possible. I will say that. But I also will say that nobody is perfect. I appreciate that, Dynamic, dude. I'm glad you've been around for as long as you have. It means a lot. Yeah, just be on the lookout, guys. I don't know what new things I'm gonna get into. I don't know if you can expect a ebook in the near future. I don't know if you can expect some merch. Just be on the lookout, man, because we're gonna be branching out, or trying to at least. So just be on the lookout for that, and keep in mind that as my life changes and we level up here, if we're gonna keep this show on the road, we got to make sure we hit our goals. Because I got a lot more on my plate these days, and if we're gonna, be in this together and grow this together and keep this show alive, I'm gonna need your help, and I know you guys are willing to do that. So we're in this together, and we'll continue growing this shit together, right? We'll continue growing it together. That rain is relaxing on the screen, isn't it? It really is. Yep, acceptance is good everyday life advice, man. I just started by saying I accept without believing it, then it came normal. Exactly, dude. And that's what I tell people. You don't have to believe it. It's not going to feel like you believe it when you first start accepting. It's not going to feel like you believe it when you first start accepting because you're still afraid. But that's where you got to make that slight attitude adjustment. It's not about not being afraid. But people are still afraid, so they take that as, oh, well, I don't believe it when I say I accept. No, you just keep that accepting inner voice, whether you think you believe it or not. Then it becomes quote unquote normal. Hey, you got to just tell yourself, slow jam, you can't stop a heart attack. So what if it happens? Right? Because what good is sitting around adding second fear and worrying about it doing for your nerves? It's taking away your quality of life for something that may never happen. And then some people say, well, what if it does? And to that I say, well, then so be it. Right? And that sounds kind of morbid to people at first, but there ain't nothing more morbid than living a life of second fear, if you ask me. And just like Pooty said, and the point that we just covered, you might not believe it when you say those words, when you switch to that accepting inner voice. It's not about that. It's, you do it anyway. And then it becomes your norm. You're practicing a new lifestyle. It's not about going into it with 100% confidence. It's not about going into it with elimination of all anxiety symptoms and thoughts. It's about going into it with one goal and one goal only, and accepting inner voice, and I'm getting on with my day, whether I feel like crap or not, whether I think I believe it or not. And eventually one day was like, okay, do your best, kill me, do what you have, bring your worst, I accept it all. So the more aggressive approach, which is absolutely okay, because that's still acceptance, you're not fighting, but it took me practice to get there. It does. And I'm so glad you mentioned that point, because that's a point I've been trying to preach to people for a long time, that you probably are not going to believe those words when you speak them, and that's okay. You speak them anyway because you're practicing a new lifestyle. All right, guys. I know we're not past the hour mark yet. I just wanted to do a quick update. I'm trying to keep you guys in the loop the best that I can. So I'm going to go ahead and jump off for now, though, because, every day I do got to get certain things done. I got to, keep on the ball over here, but I want to keep you guys in the loop. I love you guys. Thank you so much for all that you've done. If you would like to contribute, all the information's on the screen. You can go through PayPal Shorter1993 at live.com. You guys have done a lot for me, and I truly do appreciate it. Let's keep kicking ass. Let's keep this show on the road, and hopefully everything gets back to normal here soon. I love you guys. Every penny really does help, and I do appreciate it, and I'm so grateful for it. I don't like talking about money, but it's crunch time, baby. It's crunch time. We got to keep this show on the road, man. So let's get it. Thank you for all of your love, support. I'm going to do my part to be there for you guys as often as I can be. And just thank you for doing your part. I appreciate it. I love you. And I'll see you very, very soon. Until next time, as always,